Well, obviously, I want to start off with just, with our thoughts and prayers to our friends and our families down on the coastal region of our state. Obviously, the loss of property and just the tragedy that they're all going through right now. We've got several of our players, many of our players. We felt like we recruited the Houston area extremely well. Obviously, our relationships down in the Houston area, coaching down in Bay City, Matagorda County, and there's just I know everyone sees what's on the news, but and obviously the tragedy down in Rockport. It's kind of it's sad. It really is sad. And we've talked to our players a lot about it, keeping up with their families, talking to their families quite regularly through text messages, and just extending our sorrows and knowing that sending prayers and obviously that with every tragedy, with every adversity that strikes, you always find out the truth in people, and I think you're seeing the true Americans coming out, and you're seeing people from all over our country, and not just our great state, that are coming together in this time of adversity and pulling together to help each other out. And that's what we do. That's what we do in our state. That's what we do in our country. And I'm so proud to say that I'm American and I'm a Texan, because it warms your heart when you see these people that are traveling from all over to come down to help our friends and family in our great state. There have been several of our players that have lost their homes in the flood. That's happening in the Houston area. I'm not gonna go through who, but we've got several that have, and I've communicated with their parents, and their words for their parents back to me and our staff are, hey, just tell them that we're safe, it's going to be okay, and to take care of our babies. And I said, well, absolutely, we're definitely doing that. So Paul has been actively involved in this as well. So again, I know that I've carried on here about this, but I tell you, this is something that's going to affect us all. And I know that here at SMU, we've opened our doors, extended an invitation to Coach Bailiff at Rice. I got with him back when they were still in Australia, and just said, hey, we're here to help any way we can. We'll adjust our practice to help you guys out, and he was very much appreciative of that. I think they wound up going over into Fort Worth and working out. Saturday's game, I know that our administration is working on several things, but we'll be giving away free tickets for those affected by this flood and this hurricane, as well as food vouchers. So all the details will be coming out really soon on that, but we are giving away free tickets and food to get them here to the game, to just get their mind away and give them something, free food, and just let them know that, hey, we have our arms are open, we want to help. We were gathering clothing, taking to shelters, whatever we can do right now at this point. We'll obviously structure our community service work with our football program in the near months to come around this Hurricane Harvey. So you'll be getting more information on that. But again, just know that they are on our hearts heavy. We just hope that we can give them something to take a little ease off of what they're going through at this point. So. This is a salute to our heroes as well. I do want to make that known and honor our military, our heroes that have served our country so well. Some are serving our country right now down there in the Houston area. I know our Navy's down there and our Coast Guard, and there's so many that are down there right now helping out. But a salute to our heroes. And one of the things that I really want to make note is, per our Bush Library Institute, some information that we gathered was that there's over 70% of the Americans who say they don't understand the challenges that our veterans face as they transition back into the civilian life. And our goal of this game and our first games moving forward each year, our first home game every year, our goal is going to be to educate our fans that are attending this game and to be able to help bring the net number down in our DFW area. So with that, our game theme this week is Salute to Our Heroes, as well as honoring and the support of Hurricane Harvey that we're going through right now. So with that being said, we've had a great camp. We feel like that we've achieved a lot during our camp. It's been going into the third year, 33 months. As a matter of fact, on September 1st will be a 33-month anniversary for us being here. And you would like to think that anytime you do something a third time, you're going to be better at it. We were better doing it the second time than we were the first time, and we anticipate the third time being better than the second and the first. We feel like we've got a lot of players with a lot of experience that have played a lot of ball. Maybe shouldn't have played early on, but we had no choice but to play them. And we hope that this is the year that we start really seeing some of those dividends pay off of playing those kids early as freshmen in our first year. So again, we got a lot of experience coming back. We've got some quality additions to our football team, from our freshman class coming in to our graduate transfers that joined us. Offensively, we're really excited about where we are at our quarterback position. Everybody's asked, who's starting, how are we going to do that? We'll name a starter at game time. When you see him run out there, that'll be the indication who will start for us. But I know this, that Ben Hicks and Rafe Peavy and DJ Gillens have all competed exceptionally well against each other in camp. Obviously, Ben has 11 games underneath his belt last year and has gotten better every week, we felt. Put us in position to get this team into a bowl. We were just unable to finish it last season, but he did a great job improving along the way. We became a freshman All-American in some polls, and so excited about Ben. Obviously, Rafe transferred in from Arkansas. DJ Gillens went to Wisconsin and to Pearl River. But we've all had, these guys have had a great competition. Some days have been better than others, but that's what you expect when you compete. I think this competition has made each one of them better, has made our football team better. And this is something we didn't have last year. There were several times last year that we went into the game with one scholarship quarterback and a running back, a true freshman running back, Kamen Freeman, that we had to move over to play quarterback. And that's pretty scary when you go into a Division I program with lack of depth at quarterback. So that's one thing that we're excited about these three guys. We feel like these three guys could play for a lot of teams across the country. Our offensive line has, this will be our first year that we're able to see some of the benefits of redshirting. Each year that we've signed at our signing classes, we've been able to redshirt every offensive lineman that we've had. This will be the year that we're able to see those benefits paying off. So we've got some experienced guys that have redshirted, that have set as maybe a backup as a year, and learning the system even better, getting stronger and faster. So we're really excited about our offensive line. We think this could be one of the strengths of our football team. Chad Pursley, which we lost last year on the last play of fall camp, our left tackle, you lose him into an ACL last year, and he's back better than ever. Has really improved so much, and obviously a year underneath his belt of getting stronger and spending time in the film room has really helped Chad. Nick Natur, which played so much ball over the last 2 years for us, has moved from left tackle into left guard, and this is his home. He has had a phenomenal camp. Let me tell you, this guy is as solid as they get. We're really excited about Nick. He is becoming such a great leader for us. Not just our team, but obviously in our offensive line room. A lot of experience with this young man. Evan Brown, our center, all-conference selection, coming back. Again, a guy that's just a veteran. He's been there. He's been through the battles. He knows how to adjust and solve problems as we move forward. Really proud of Evan. I know he's on everybody's watch list, and this guy is, first of all, he's extremely intelligent and has a great command in that offensive line. Right guard right now, we've got a little bit of a rotation that we look that's going to happen. Jacob Tedora will start for us, and or Bryce Wilds. If Bryce Wilds is at right guard, then Will Hopkins, a graduate transfer from Oregon State, which has been a huge addition to our football team, will be there as well. So you'll see him on the field quite a bit. Bryce Wilds will be there. We've got Harrison Barton, Hayden Howerton, a true freshman from Katy, will play this year. This young man has a great career ahead of him. We're really excited about him, and he will not redshirt. We anticipate playing Hayden right off and helping us out along the way in either center or guard. Kadarius Smith is another one that we were fortunate enough to be able to redshirt last year, and Braxton Webb is another young man that we redshirted, and he will travel with us, so we'll see where he is. Alana Lee is a guy that we hope we can redshirt. But again, we've got some depth in our offensive line. I'm extremely excited about that. Coach Fry's done a phenomenal job. Tight ends. Our tight ends, we've now got some depth there as well. It started with a graduate transfer in Raymond Epps from Arizona State. Raymond came in, obviously playing in an offense very similar to what we play in, made the transition really well, has become a leader in that room. You have Ryan Becker. Mitchell Kaufman is a young man that's played a lot of ball from Highland Park. Played a lot of ball, started as a freshman, and when maybe he wasn't ready, but was able to play and gain some valuable experience. Hunter Thedford is a young man we've moved from defensive end to tight end for just a simple reason, for blocking purposes, and it runs really well. This is 6'6½", 270-pound guy. He played some wide receiver in high school. We recruited him as a defensive end, but because of, and we'll talk more defensively in just a few minutes, but because of our depth in our D-line, we feel like Hunter would see the field quicker. And so we tried him there about the third or fourth fall camp practice, and he was a natural. And so he's found a home. I'm excited about Hunter. Corey Rouse, another young man that we were able to redshirt last year. We'll see where he is. He's kind of battled some injuries through fall camp, but we'll see where he is with that. The running back position, Braden West, obviously an all-conference selection. Braden comes back as one of the returners in the country of rushing for over 1,000 yards. Just really excited where he is. And obviously, he's got a great command of our offense. Xavier Jones, a young man we lost in basically the first game of the year last year. He broke Eric Dickerson's freshman touchdown mark, if you remember that, 2 years ago. He's very sudden, he's dynamic, and definitely a guy that can break the game open from any point on the field. He's back, he's healthy. We're excited about the combination with Xavier and Braden. Kind of a thunder lightning, so to speak, right there with those two young men. Kamen Freeman is played a lot last year as a true freshman from Liberty Ilu up in Texarkana. And this young man had a really good year. Wish we could have redshirted him, but we're unable to do that. But Kamen Freeman has had a good camp. So we've got a three-way rotation right there with those guys, and excited about our running back position. Casey Medlock, the freshman from ARP, we're gonna travel him. Don't know if we'll play him or not. We would love to redshirt him, but we get in a game and we feel like that we need to use him. He's got great speed. We will play him. We're prepared to play him. Our wide receivers, we think, are probably the deepest part of our offense from a total depth standpoint. Right behind the offense, right in front of the offensive line. They're as deep and talented as a collective group that we've had here. We feel like that these guys they could play for teams all over the country in every conference. But when you start looking, obviously we know what Cortland Sutton's done and what he's capable of doing. This young man is chosen to come back. Had every intention of possibly going to declaring for the draft, but his ability to come back has solidified that wide receiver group. His leadership is phenomenal. Obviously, we know what he does on the field, and that's what most people see. But let me just tell you what this young man does off the field, and not just Cortland, but a lot of our guys, the majority of our guys, what they do off the field is even more impressive. This young man is going to walk across the stage in December with a degree from SMU and an All-American, and has got a great future ahead of him. And it's such a pleasure to coach and to be around. But he would be the first to tell you it's not about him. We're going to be successful without him. If he had chosen to leave, we would still be successful. And Trey Quinn, a young man from LSU that transferred in, set out last year. We heavily recruited him, offered him, thought we were going to get him at Clemson, and just couldn't get him out of the state of Louisiana. He had too many ties there to LSU, and stays there 2 years, starts as a true freshman and as a sophomore, and chooses to transfer, and came here, set out last year, and this young man is, this guy plays the game like it's supposed to be played. And I know he's excited. He's extremely excited to get back on the field after a year off. A playmaker all over him, and you know, he gives us a great compliment to Cortland. We'll play him to the field. You'll see him in some speed motion game, but this guy is dynamic with the ball in his hand. We all know James Prochet is coming back, all-conference selection. He was an All-American in some polls as a freshman. Very sudden with him. He's got great burst, great ball skills. His maturity level is really grown, which has been impressive. I've been able to watch this young man grow, and just grow not just from a football standpoint, but also from a mental standpoint, from growing up. And that's what he needed to do. Felt like that his maturity level would take him to the next level, and he's worked on that. And so I'm excited to see James. Got great ball skills, a fierce competitor. Myron Gilliard is another young man that has had a great camp, fall camp, spring ball. He just shows up every day to work, has his hard hat on, and never complains. And this guy gets it done. Myron and Shelby Walker in that wide receiver room have a great leadership. I think you would probably ask those guys, ask Cortland and Trey, and they would pinpoint and point to those two guys as examples of how to practice and how to go through drills and the demands and the study habits. So it's impressive to watch these guys. Another young man I'm really excited about in our wide receiver room that needed to have a good fall camp. We saw a little glimpse of him in spring ball, but he wasn't as consistent as he was in fall camp, but Alex Honey. Alex has now been with us now going into his third year, and so you're really starting to see the benefits of just maturing, the age that you've seen on this young man. And Alex has had as good a camp as anybody in that wide receiver room, has made some unbelievable plays. So from an offensive standpoint, that's where we are. We're excited. We feel like we're explosive. Coach Craddock's our offensive coordinator, has done a great job getting these guys prepared. And I'm really excited to watch these guys as they step out on the field. They feel confident. They feel fresh. They feel fast. And I'm ready to watch these guys turn it loose Saturday. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to talk about our defensive line first. I know Coach Malone, our defensive coordinator, which has done a great job getting these guys. We're getting to that point now, 3 years into this, that we've got some depth there as well. But we feel like our defensive line is as deep on the defensive side of the ball as any group we have. It starts with Justin Lawler up front. Justin, all-conference selection. He's on a lot of people's watch list. One of the top 25 senior returners, according to ESPN. Had a phenomenal year last year. Great leadership. This guy is probably one of the top 2 or 3 leaders on our football team, if not the leader. Backing him up, you'll see Nick Horton and Delonte Scott, 2 young men that put in their time. Nick obviously suffered an injury in the Baylor game last year, and we were able to redshirt him, so he's back as a redshirt senior. He is our Jerry Levias Award winner, so you'll see him wearing jersey number 23, which we're excited about, and I know he's extremely excited about. But Delonte Scott is up to 275 pounds, runs well, is going to, again, provide plenty of depth there. You'll see those young men on the field. We'll be able to have a great rotation right there. Demrick Gary, we all know Demrick, and what a player he is and was last year for us in our football program and our team as we got better as the year went. You saw Demrick really improve. He's from right here in Dallas. Loves SMU, as all our guys do. Another addition that you'll see up front starting for us is Pono Davis. He'll start at the other defensive lineman or defensive tackle position. Came from Tyler Junior College, and we were very fortunate to get him. We picked him up late in the spring, but he has came in here and has made a huge impact defensively and helping us out in our rotation. A graduate transfer, Demarie Mixon from Mesquite Horn, graduate transfer from Tennessee, joined us, and he's definitely been a great addition to our defensive front. He'll play opposite of Justin Lawler. He's about, I think Demarie is 6'3" and right around the 260 mark. Runs extremely well. He came in with a great attitude and just, coach, whatever you need me to do. So you'll see him on a lot of special teams units. He wants to play. He's excited to be back home. One of the things that he shared with me is his parents really didn't get a chance to see him as much as they wanted. So with him coming back home, it allows them to be able to be here at these games. And that's been a huge addition for him. He's been a great teammate, and we're excited about the addition that he has. Behind him, we've got Michael Badajo. We played Michael last year, obviously a highly recruited young man, and wish we could have redshirted him, but played him last year, and he's had a really good fall camp. I didn't think he had a very good spring. I shared that with him. I thought he was inconsistent, and so we've challenged him. Coach Malone challenged him. Coach Wyatt challenged him to pick his game up, but he's done that coming into fall camp. Tyson Niels, Tyson Niels, a young man from NEO, Northeast Oklahoma, has joined us as well, signed with us last year, and has been a huge addition there. So you'll see at that defensive end position a rotation right there with those three guys. And obviously up front, Chris Biggers, JT Williams, and Kim McLaurin will also be in the rotation. And so again, it allows us to rotate. As we all know that, you know, for all the teams that I've been a part of that were solid and playing their best in November, they all had a great defensive front and an offensive front. And the way that you manage those guys and roll them in. And I know Coach Malone will talk a little bit about that. Moving to our linebacker position, Kyron Mitchell will start for us at star. We will travel and play Delano Robinson, a true freshman. A true freshman from Denton Ryan. He will play. Came in to camp and really kind of shocked us all. We knew he was going to be a great football player, but he came in and definitely got the attention really quick of everybody. Anthony Roan will be our Mike linebacker. Behind him, you'll see Matt McNew, Noah Spears. We can do some rotation in there and move some guys around to Mike if we have to. Jordan Williams will be our wheel backer. And R.C. Cox and Shane Haley. Shane Haley's another young man from Bishop Dunn right around the corner. He is a true freshman that will play. We've made that commitment to those two young men. We are going to play them. They're ready and have had a really solid camp. They will help us out, obviously, on special teams as well. Safety is probably our youngest group, but they've got a lot of experience. They've got a lot of ball right there that they've played, but very young. The oldest player in that room is a redshirt sophomore. And when you look at the athleticism of Mikhail Onu and Rodney Clemens and Elijah McQueen and Kevin Johnson, those four guys right there have a great career ahead of them. And we love where we are at that position. Cornerbacks, moving into that group, Jordan Wyatt, obviously an all-conference selection, was I think number 3 in the country in interceptions last year, 6'1", right around the 185 mark, runs well. Obviously, when you go against Cortland Sutton every day, it forces you to sharpen your skills, and that's what's happened. Jordan has made Cortland better, and Cortland's made Jordan better, and that's every day. It's an everyday battle. Matter of fact, they're roommates. And so I can only imagine the conversations they have at home. But it's a constant battle with those guys, and it's been great to see the improvement of Jordan Wyatt, a young man that's played a lot of football for us, and still has another year left. But He's a solid corner for us that we're really excited about. Opposite of him, Christian Davis, Eric Sutton. You'll see Cedric Lancaster, Will Jeanleys. Those guys will rotate in. Both Christian and Eric played last year. As a matter of fact, Eric was on our special teams player of the year. So that's our defense. Special teams is an area that we have to improve in. That was a huge focus, as every area, but that was a huge focus coming into this year, was the improvement in our special teams. Josh Williams will get the kickoff duties and the PAT and field goal duties right now. Kevin Robledo, a young man we brought in here, started his career at Florida State and before transferring. So we'll see. We hope to get him some action. It's been a great competition going through camp, but Josh has edged him out right now, so we will start Josh. Jamie Sackville, a returning punter from last year, we'll do some of our punting duties this year. And then obviously Garrett Stotts as our deep snapper. Our return men, you'll see Trey Quinn, Jordan White, Kevin Johnson. You'll see those guys back there, James Prochet. So again, we're really excited about the addition of Trey Quinn on this football team. We knew he was going to be a good football player, but we also knew we had to sit and wait a year to see him out here on the field. But he's going to help us in many ways. So moving on to Stephen F. Austin. Coach Conque is in his 4th season there. We got great respect for his program and what he's done. He started out his first year there as 8-5, and I know he's had a couple of years that he was in a some rebuild process. He's got a new defensive coordinator, Jeff Bird, which spent the last 5 seasons at Tennessee Martin. Has done some great things there. They've had some top-ranked defenses. There they played more of a 3-down, but we understand. I believe they're going to be more into a 4-down front now. So we've got great respect for them. Coach Croton, their offensive coordinator, was at one time the head coach at BYU, and so he's been around. He knows a lot of ball. He's got a great staff, and obviously comes from a great tradition-rich program. If you've never been down to Nacogdoches and seen their stadium, it's one of the very neat settings in college football. We've played many high school games there, and that was always a highlight to be able to go play there at their stadium. Offensively, they've got some playmakers, and coming off of a team that averaged about 440 yards a game offensively, 31 points a game. Tamrick Pace, a young man from Brownsboro, not far down the road there in East Texas. 6'3", 195, 52 catches last year, close to 1,000 yards receiving. Freshman All-American. They got another wide receiver in Trey Hart, that 42 catches for close to 600 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also use him as a punt returner. So you got to know where those 2 guys are on the field at all times. I feel like that, one of the strengths of their team, obviously outside of their wide receiver core, is a running back group. They've got a really exciting group of freshmen that they've recruited extremely well. But Keyshawn Amos, 60 carries for close to 300 yards last year. We anticipate him being the starter, and brings definitely a great rotation right there. And then they've got a young man that at left tackle, Josh Keith, was an all-conference selection. Also got a young man that transferred in there from North Texas. Actually, we played against him last year. He was a very solid receiver for him last year at North Texas, and we definitely had to know where this young man lined up. But Torian Gorey, 5'9", 185, 190. He's got great speed, and again, we've seen him, so we have an idea that of what he was like last year, and this young man can definitely, when he puts his foot in the ground, he can make some things happen. Jake Blumrick is their starter at quarterback, and a sophomore, a big kid, 6'2", a little over 200 pounds, and so they're very fast-paced. They're very similar to us. They're going to push the ball down the field. They're going to force some personnel issues and try to get some mismatches. And again, Coach has done a great job with them, and Coach Croton has been around this game a long time, so you know you're not gonna come in and try to give coach something that he hasn't seen. So again, we know they're going to be well coached and going to try to play fast. On the defensive side of the ball, you know, again, I shared with you, feel like they're going to be in a 4-down front, but some guys, just some quick guys, and I'll open this up for questions, but that really stood out to us on film, and going back and watching some of the videos from last year and just reading up on those guys. John Franklin is a young man that's led them with 8 sacks last year. He had 9 starts. He's played a lot of ball over the last several years for this young man. He's a senior. I think he's the most experienced of all the players that they have. Lamont Alexander, Gary Sampson. These are young men that have done a great job there, and we're anticipating those guys starting. Got some size to them up front. We feel like defensive line-wise is probably their strength of their rotation. And you've got some guys on the back end that Elise Ward, 7 starts last year, 59 tackles at one of the safeties. Marlon Walls, another young man, 10 starts in 2016, 62 tackles. And Trent Perriman with 11 starts last year at a corner is a returning corner. So again, you know, we've got our hands full. Anytime you go into these first games, you always worry about as we do every week. We worry more about ourselves than we do anyone else, and making sure that our guys are able to get lined up, play fast, and know exactly what to do. Alignment, assignment, and technique is what we always say. And so we know that they're going to come in here. This is going to be a great challenge for us, opening up this season. And we look forward to Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Right out here in Ford Stadium as we host Stephen F. Austin. And hope we have a great crowd. We're anticipating a great crowd, and we want everybody to come out. We feel like this is the best SMU football team that we've had since we've been here, and we want everybody to be out here to support these young men as we look on to build on this year. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
On my count, there are 8 transfers on the 2 deep, whether from JUCO or other Division I programs. What is that infusion of veteran talent?
Are you talking about with us?
Yes. So there are 8 transfers on the 2 deep. What is that infusion of, vets who have experience do for what you can do on the field?
Well, I think anything with experience, when you look at experience, you can't coach that. You just have to develop it. When you develop experience, you got to take time. And with that, you go through bumps and bruises and ups and downs. And that's what we've got, and that's we've got plenty of experience of guys that have played plenty of ball for us. But when you're able to bring in some graduate transfers that for whatever reason they want to get closer to home or whatever it may be, and they fit our culture, then you want those guys a part of your program. What you don't want is you don't want guys to come in here from other programs and feel like that they're bigger, that they've played bigger places, and they're better than than what we are, and we have yet to have that. Our culture is established, and we make it really clear to these young men that, hey, look, we would love to have you, but at the same sense, we're going to be good with you or without you. And so, but their experience can definitely add to our program, and I think you see that. And obviously, we don't know to what impact. I don't know yet. We'll talk as this year goes, and we'll see what December looks like.
Ever since you got hired, you've talked about your relationships with high school coaches, but right from the get-go, was part of your plan to infuse more veteran talent through transfers like this?
Well, you look at it, and it's all a numbers game. So you don't know where your scholarships are, if you've got scholarship numbers available late. If you do, and you do have a chance to take some transfers in, then you take them in. Some years are more than others. Our first year we didn't have any numbers. And then last year we were able to pick up a number or 2 along the way, and if you feel like that they can fit into our program, then you definitely take them and fit into what we're about. So, yeah.
So looking at the 2 deep, Marion Nixon and Bryce Wilds are listed as starters, but neither of them dressed for Saturday's scrimmage. Are they cleared to play this week?
They are, yeah. They'll actually be out working out today.
Is there anyone who has been told they can't play this Saturday?
At this stage right now, Mason Gentry will not play. and I believe he is, I think he's the only one that coming into this week that we've got. So, yeah, Mason Jennifer.
What is it that's bothering him?
Well, he's been going through the rehab on his back, and we anticipate getting Mason back hopefully within the next week, 2 weeks.
Is Tyler Page still a redshirt candidate, or is he going to play?
No, actually not. Our plans are to play Tyler Page. We kind of came into the camp thinking that we were going to redshirt him, and he's definitely made an impact out there in the way that this young man, obviously what he's done out during camp. So yes, he's going to play. You'll see him on the field. He'll play quite a bit.
How hard has the adjustment been for him, not only just coming back from his injury, but high school quarterback to college receiver? What are the biggest adjustments he's had to make learning that transition?
Yeah, well, I asked him that, and he's got a great mentor in that room. I know Trey Quinn has really helped mentor him, and so has Cortland, and all those guys have. But for the most part, the biggest adjustment, talking to Tyler, and I've asked him that question, and he said, Coach, I played quarterback, and I didn't realize how much the wide receivers ran. And just the running that's put on his legs. And so we've had to be really smart as we went through camp, getting him into wide receiver shape. And he came in great shape. And Coach Troop did a great job getting all these guys in shape. But, when you start putting the amount of miles on his legs and he's not used to it, we kind of thought that he may taper off as camp went. And which would have gave us a great opportunity to say, hey, look, we're going to redshirt you. But he's gotten stronger. Now, we do a great job as a staff of monitoring how much mileage we put on their legs. At one point in time, midway through camp, 3/4 way through camp, he had more yards on his legs. He had the equivalence of 2 more practices on his legs than anybody else on our football team. And so him and Trey and Cortland. So when you see that, and obviously we've got the catapult numbers that we monitor every day, then we adjust our practice with those guys, and we get it back right. And so it's all about the recovery at that point.
You always talk about your receivers' obligation to not only catch the ball and run routes, but also to block. Has Tyler Page ever thrown a block?
Oh, yeah, you know what? This guy is physical. He plays the game like you love to see. You saw his highlight film in high school. He's gritty. He loves to take chances, and that's just who he is. And when you meet his parents, you understand. That's just who they are. This guy's been playing ball for a long time, and he's played all sports, and he loves to get out there and get dirty and have fun. And that's what you love in him. I know Coach Craddock will probably talk more about him, but again, he's got some great mentors and leaders in that room that are showing him how to do it the right way.
How about a little overview of the conference and your road to a bowl game?
Yeah, let's start with obviously our road to the bowl game. We feel like that, again, going into year 3, this will be our best year. But really, what December is going to look like, I don't know. But I do know this: we are a better football team coming into this year than we have been since I've been here. We've got a lot of talent, a lot of depth as I went through. Our goal, my goal, is to make sure that we don't look ahead, that we stay focused on just today and today only, and be the best that we can absolutely be at this moment. And then we go out to practice at 2:05 today, and in our meetings and on the field at 4. We expect that to be the best practice that we've had. It's the most important practice in the history of this program, and that's the way we approach every day. And so what does December look like? I don't know, but I do know this: that if we take that mentality and our culture is already established, and our kids understand what we're about, and just win today. And I do know this: that our biggest challenge this year is going to be how this football team handles success. I do know that. And as the season goes, we'll all understand that more and more. But I've shared that with them the Sunday night that we reported back to camp. And I said that's going to be our biggest challenge. Because we've got the depth, we've got some talent, we're good enough. Now if we can string together a series of good days and stack them in a bucket, then we got more good days and bad days, and great things will happen. So with our conference, I feel like obviously our side of the bracket is extremely difficult. We've got some great competition. I think our conference is from top to bottom is as solid as anybody. From a competition standpoint, you better bring your A game every week. You know, we're getting our program to that point now to where we feel like that we can be a consistent force in this conference week in and week out. And by doing that, through depth and through just playing experience and where we are going into year 3. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a really competitive conference this year.
You mentioned that multiple guys will get a shot at right guard, whether it's Bryce Wilds or Harrison Barton, but you do have Jacob Tedora listed as your starter. What did you and Coach Craddock and Coach Fry see in Jacob? What do you like about him that convinced you to name him first team?
Yeah, well, Jacob is, we loved him last year, and it was everything we could do. We had many discussions on whether we should pull the red shirt off of him or not, but Jacob is a guy that's physical, he's aggressive, very moves well. I mean, he's got some great intangibles, that very extremely football smart as well. So again, he came in there and so won the job. Doesn't mean that we're not going to make some rotations in there, but he's done a really good job of winning that spot and being consistent in his play.
Can you talk about Rodney Clemens a little bit and tell us what he did to kind of separate himself with that starting safety spot?
Yeah, Rodney is a guy that came off and battled some injuries early on in camp, but really came on as of late. Big, physical, runs well, has a great knack for the ball. Just a guy that's a playmaker, and he's got just a tough mentality, a hard edge mentality about him when he's back there. And I know Coach Lepp has done a really good job with that group. So young, but yet Rodney is one of the older guys in that group, and so his experience has really helped. And I'd say something else I think has helped more than anything is he's got some competition behind him. Because if he doesn't get it done, there's other guys behind him that are pushing, and that's everywhere. And that's what you want in your program. Once you get to that level, then you know that you're going to bring the best out of everybody. And so we've got competition, not just at our safety position, but at all our positions.
Anything else for Coach?
What are the biggest differences you see between Chad Persley now and Chad before his knee injury, when you and your staff were so pleased with him then?
Yeah, actually, he has really slimmed up. He's taken an incredible amount of pride in just the way he looks now. From a weight standpoint, he may be close to where he was a year ago, but just the way he has just changed his whole body style, his nutrition, the importance of eating right, the importance of the film study, and just the knowledge of the offense has helped him as much as anything. Great feet. Chad's a guy, a man of a few words, but he and Nick have really, on that left side of the ball, have really got a great relationship right there and working together. And so I think that they've really complemented each other right there, and I think that's helped him too. Confidence. Yes, sir.
You and your staff had spent some time up in Frisco this summer with one of the other local teams. What did you learn from that you can apply here?
Well, a lot. We were able to go up there and spend time at the Star and be around Coach Garrett and his staff. We've taken full advantage of being in our great city of Dallas and being able to go up to Frisco and have the convenience and the accessibility. And Coach Garrett has allowed us open access to come up there and watch practice and to be around and be a part of meetings. And that's been huge. I really appreciate that, the friendship that he and I have had, and his openness of letting our staff come in and being able to go up there and watch their practice and how things are done, and just picking up just on some game management. I think that's probably been some of the biggest things that we've picked up as a staff on how to, different scenarios in a game. Every coach does it, but when you go up there and you're able to listen to it in a different tone and a different way to teach things has really helped. Drill work, obviously, you pick up as much as you can on drill work, and just watching these guys compete and how they practice. So much of who we are now is, is about how you practice. You can't go out there every day and just continue to be, obviously you gotta be physical, but you gotta be smart when you do it. And watching these guys, I know that it's quite different from the NFL to where we are at SMU, but you can definitely pick up on some things that when there's certain days that it's a tracking day or a thud day that you can implement. So a lot of practice implementation that we've been able to put in, which has been critical and great. Definitely appreciate the Jones family for letting us come up there, and very, very special to us. And we'll obviously open up the hospitality to our staff has been remarkable. We definitely thank the Jones family for that. So with that, look forward to seeing everybody Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Thank you.